Customer loyalty. Let's talk about that for a moment, because it's the holy grail, isn't it? Everybody talks about it. Everybody understands that at the end of the day, customer loyalty is what drives the business. It's been proven again and again. It's 30 years since Frederick Reichel proved this, that companies that grow faster than their competitors, make more money than their competitors, quite simply have more loyal customers. So far, so good. Where the bike chain seems to come off sometimes is how loyalty is actually achieved. You thought about that? So what are the fundamentals here? Well, first of all, we have to understand that there's no loyalty in basic satisfaction. When we deliver the right product at the right price, exactly according to spec, everything that we promised perfectly, then we would get 3, maybe 3.5 on a 1 to 5 Likert scale. And 3.5 is not enough to get you any kind of loyalty. So loyalty requires something more than perfect delivery. In fact, loyalty is the result of an emotional component in addition to flawless execution. So what do I mean by that? Well, loyalty in the service industry happens when one of our employees makes a meaningful connection with one of our guests or customers. So good luck putting "you must at all times make meaningful connections with our guests" as a KPI in your employment agreements, because it won't happen. Employees make meaningful connections with your customers when they feel like it, when they are in a good space, when their motivation is high. We call that, at the end of the day, engagement. Oh, so you may be thinking, so if we have reasonable employee satisfaction, that is going to produce engagement. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way, because, you see, there's no engagement in basic employee satisfaction. Thousands of employees come to work in the service industries every day, probably also in your business. And they are reasonably satisfied with their job. They're just not particularly engaged. Because the fact is that when we provide a stable job, fair pay, reasonable work hours, decent uniform, nice canteen, all of this good stuff, then again, what we get is 3 on a scale of 1 to 5, possibly 3.5 if we're really good, but no more. That is what behaving as a decent employer is going to get you in terms of employee satisfaction. And it doesn't cut it, does it? So think of this from the customer perspective. What is the difference from a customer perspective between being served by an employee who has a job they're not particularly dissatisfied with, and an employee who has a burning desire to do well and who is incredibly engaged in what they're doing? Well, it's simple, isn't it? There's a world of difference from a customer perspective. And that difference is what produces loyalty. So high NPS scores are driven by high employee engagement figures. And the source of that engagement is emotional, or should I say, maybe more precisely, it's relational. Engagement is the result of employees feeling a sense of being appreciated, of belonging, that what they do makes a difference. And 90% of that stems directly from the relationship with their immediate supervisor. Think about that. And this applies at all levels in the organization. That is why helping your managers improve their leadership capacity, their relationship building skills, if you like, will reflect directly back on your Net Promoter Score. If you'd like to have a chat and explore how to do that, I'd be more than happy to do that. Just let me know.